All right, welcome, folks, to BS3 Radio Live Reaction Monday. We do this every week. We talk about different topics. We're recapping week 4 of the NFL, and we got my man EAZY of Speak Easy Sports. We did a fantasy football battle, so we could talk about that. But how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, other than the fact that you woke me up this weekend.
Hey, it's great competition. It's always good to get some competition when it comes to fantasy football. Right now, we have KC and New England on. We'll be talking about NFL Week 4, like I said. You can join in on the conversation and let us know what you're thinking. How'd your team do? So specifically, your team ended up losing, right? To who was that?
We lost to the Saints. So I'm here in Detroit. And yeah, we took a whooping to the Saints. I'm not even going to front, though, like I went in with like winning expectations. At this point, we kind of know what it is. The Detroit Lions, we probably got a new coach coming next year, and I just hope they make the right hire.
Yeah. Now, Patricia, were you happy with that hire? Because he's in that pedigree of Belichick, and he's in that group of upper echelon coaches supposedly, but he hadn't really done anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, like you kind of have to be optimistic, right? Like it's like, I mean, you want your team to be successful, and truly with guys like that, you don't know what's going to happen, with them becoming coaches and whatnot. So yeah, I was optimistic heading into it, and I was even up until last year. I was kind of like, hey, let's give him a chance to get his culture established. And then I don't know if you guys seen it. It actually made even CBS headline news. He made a statement that he was. I gotta find it too, man. He said something about inheriting like a bad team. He's still trying to recover from what I inherited. Pretty much is like what the basis of what he was trying to say was, which was like, because the Lions were 9-7 when he got them, and he's only won 10 games total in his entire tenure here.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, not good.
That's not good at all. So yeah, it's and a lot of people wish Caldwell was still there. I mean, Caldwell had that team. I don't know if they were in the playoffs. I think they were in the playoffs one of those years. They played the Cowboys.
We went to the playoffs twice with Caldwell, and I actually had the benefit of having Pro Bowl safety for the Detroit Lions, Glover Quinn, on the show. He played under both regimes. I'm kind of asking him, what he thought of one versus the other, and how come we haven't gotten it going yet with Patricia. And he kind of touched on the same stuff that he's proven today. Or I have the quote right here. I'm sorry. What he said was, when I came to Detroit, there was a lot of work to do. It's like we were 9-7 in Cowboys' final season, and then since then, Matt Patricia's gone 10-25 and won with the Lions. It's very disappointing, bro.
Yeah, I get it. So you want to talk about our lineups? Since it's we went on DraftKings together. He invited me. I mean, I didn't ask. I came on there because he wanted to see what was up, and you see how it went.
Yeah, I called my guy out, and I finally got him on DraftKings, which is dope, though, because that's your first time, right?
Yeah, first time on DraftKings, yeah.
Man, it's super, super, super cool. I think my favorite thing about DraftKings is, you get paid right away, and you're not affected by – well, I got affected by injuries. That's my excuse for why I lost guys, by the way. But, you pick a new lineup every single week, and you get paid out. So tomorrow, you get the money you just got lucky and took from me.
Yeah. I was a little worried, because you got money. DraftKings is different because you got money that you got to pick. It's not like traditional fantasy where you got this team, for the entire season. This is week by week. But it was cool. I had Russell Wilson, which that was a great pick. Any time you get Russell Wilson on a fantasy team, that's a great pick. Yeah. I had Adrian Peterson, which that was kind of my he was my low, dollar amount.
The value guy.
He came through. Zeke didn't have, the best game as far as him winning, but he had a great game as far as fantasy. John Brown of Buffalo, that guy's kind of wishy-washy. I'm in a couple of leagues. He hasn't really given me anything as a whole, but I'm okay with him. And DK Metcalf, that's a guaranteed, double digit right there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham. Mike Davis, which with what's my guy I'm thinking of, running back for Carolina, McCaffrey. With McCaffrey being out, he's been huge in a couple of my leagues, and especially with this one, he produced. And then the Packers defense, what they'll be playing tonight. But okay. Go down your roster.
Yeah, man, I'm ashamed. No, I mean, I spoke on the injury that I had. So my quarterback that I started, the way DraftKings works too is you don't see your opponent's players until they're running live. That way you guys don't get like tied up rosters or anything like that.
Right.
But I had Aaron Rodgers. Got Aaron Rodgers going tonight, so hopefully he messes up these Falcons who've been blowing leads all over the place. But I got Aaron Rodgers starting at quarterback. I had Jerick McKinnon, which was a good pick. He gave me 22 points. Last minute touchdown, by the way, too, by him, which a garbage time touchdown from a running back. You don't really see those. He did that last night for me. By the way, I did not expect the Eagles to win that game. That was
no.
Literally the whole entire analyst panel for Sunday Night Football. Niners. And then bam, the Eagles win. Football is a woman's sports, man. You never know.
Yeah. But even with the backup, they had CJ Beathard got some run and Mullins, and they still were picking them. So
yeah. I had Henderson from LA, which I thought he would get a lot more run, man. He did not. I thought he was going to go off for me. That was not the case. So he was kind of like, I don't want to call anybody scrubbers in the league, right? But like fantasy wise, those aren't like guys like well known. So I had Henderson, the running back for the Rams, and then I think it's Greg Ward, the receiver from the Eagles.
From the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's hurt. So I thought he was going to go off. It was not the case. Cooper Kupp, I'm sorry, did well for me. Kenny Galladay, Detroit Lion, did well for me. Jimmy Graham, you and I both picked him. I thought he was going to be a good pick, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Indianapolis defense, man. They've been kind of they've been limited guys to a few points all year. Then of course I had Nick Chubb who got hurt and sounds like he's out for I think it was an MCL. Do you know how long the injury was?
Yeah, MCL sprain. I don't know how long he's out, but they said multiple weeks, so that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the defense I started the Rams against the New York Giants. We should do this weekly, man. I'm down if you are. We don't always have to put money on line if you don't want to, but
yeah,
I mean, shoot.
Yeah, I think this is fun. It's fun. BS3 versus Speakeasy. So this is probably the third time you came on. But for those that don't know, what do you do on your podcast, and where is it available and everything like that?
Oh yeah, what up though? I'm Easy from the Speakeasy Podcast. We host out of Detroit. We cover all kinds of sports, man. All kinds of sports, and then when I do so we are Speakeasy Sports, and I apologize for that, but we cover all sports. When I do my Speakeasy Podcast, it's kind of whatever, but anything from basketball, football, but really, really big on MMA. We started in quarantine, and obviously MMA was the only thing going on back then, so somehow we captured a big chunk of the MMA community, and I'm thankful for it. Those fans are a little crazy, but I'm happy to have them. Yeah, check us out, man. We have porn star Kendra Lust on. She's a big sports fan, so she actually, knows sorts of stuff a little bit, knows to talk a little bit of sports. So that was fun. And then hopefully, too, soon we have BS3 on to talk some football.
Definitely. We're definitely going to do that. All right, so I'm going to bring in another guy that we have tonight, Will Walker of WIL'S Take on Sports. He's got the Miami hat on. I know you're feeling good today.
I'm feeling a little bit better. We got a win. I like that. I like that win last night. That was pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Buckets went off. I talked about that on the weekend wrap-up show earlier, but we'll be doing post-game shows each game, so we'll do another one tomorrow. But NFL Week 4, man. Let's get into this first game. We'll get into the Cowboys game, maybe last or maybe never, because I know y'all about to trash my Cowboys. But Tom Brady, man, 5 touchdowns, and not only was he putting up numbers, but he did this with Justin Herbert, and they went in a shootout. And Herbert is a young quarterback. I think Tyrod Taylor, even the coach has already said it's his job, but he's a nice up and coming quarterback. Going to a shootout with Tom Brady, I think is, you got to pay this guy props. Will, what was your thoughts on this game? And Grandpa Tommy is what I call him, lighting it up.
Yeah, he lightened it up, but they better stop throwing them long out routes because that's not working. 2 long out routes early in the season and 2 pick sixes. So it's starting to make me think it may not have been Jameis last year. It may be the play calling. That long out route it's not working for Tom Brady. What I take from this game, the Buccaneers showed who they are. they're a good football team. And Tom Brady showed that he's still an adequate quarterback. I'm not going to go as far as to give Tom Brady, say that he's the Tom Brady of old, but he's still an adequate quarterback. And that's what the Buccaneers needed. They needed a sufficient quarterback. And you can see they have a decent defense. But Justin Herbert, man, do you really think that they should go back to Tyrod Taylor? Because, of course, it's not Tyrod's fault what happened to him, but still, Justin Herbert looks like he gives them the best chance to win.
Yeah, I would still go back to the vet. I mean, I think Herbert can probably still learn some things. I think he's jumping in there, head first, and he's showing he's got the skills, and he's the reason why he got drafted so high. But I would still put Tyrod. But I don't know if Tyrod, when he's coming back or if he's coming back, that was a freak accident. Who knows what could happen, long term to him.
That's why I don't want Bam to take the needle for the next strain. No, seriously. I don't want Bam to take the needle. I mean, only thing that's going to heal Bam with that is rest. With that next strain, time and rest. So, man, don't take the injection. It's just too risky. And I don't think that doctor that did that Tyrod did it intentionally. It was a freak accident. But still, man, no. I don't want to see Bam take that risk. I mean, we're not winning this series anyway. I'm just glad we didn't get swept. That's all that matters to me.
I cannot believe they won last night. That was so kudos to Jimmy. That was crazy. I mean, honestly, Jimmy did his thing, but I was so disappointed in LeBron and AD too. Like,
AD was a non-factor.
Yeah,
AD had 6 points at the half, had 3 turnovers.
Crazy, man.
I mean, it was a non-factor, but I guarantee you this next game is not going to be the same. They're not going to have back-to-back games like that. Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy had to be damn near perfect, to get that W. Yeah. So,
true.
It was
true. Easy. Give me your thoughts on Bucks and drawing a blank. The Bucks game.
No, you good? Yeah. So I have Tom Brady on my fantasy team. I'm not. So I live in Michigan, but I'm a Michigan State guy. So I've never been like a Tom Brady slappy. But bro, he's been kind of like off and on this year. It's kind of crazy. I feel like that. I mean, thankfully that team is so damn talented. I feel like they're kind of like dragging his corpse the way through. But he had one big pass to I think it was Mike Evans, which obviously Mike Evans is world class. One of the best receivers in the league right now. But 5 touchdowns, I'm glad he pulled it out because, like I said, for personal gains, I got him on my fantasy team. But that team's gonna be interesting to watch, just because I don't know how many more times they're gonna bail him out on a lot of these rough plays. Like, I don't know if you guys got to watch a lot of it, but it haven't been too pretty. That defense is playing really well. But on Tom Brady's part, I feel like a lot of it. I mean, like again, thankfully he has those skill players at the elite level around him, helping them get there. Yeah.
Let me give some quick shout outs. Miss Mocabella always supporting. We got Carmelo in the building. He said plus they paid him money, right? I don't know if he was talking about Bam or if he was talking about Tyrod.
The doctor?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, that was a weird freak accident. I thought when I heard he had chest, because I thought initially it said chest pain. So I'm thinking, like, is he having trouble breathing? Is he having an asthma attack? Is he having a heart? I mean, what was it? And then when it finally got released, I was like, that was just a flat out accident. Like that shouldn't have, stuff like that shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't happen at all.
Yeah, no,
that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, freak accident.
Very freaking. But that shouldn't happen at all. That was really unfortunate. Like I said, what happened to him. So, but I hope they pay him his. I think that's what that person is referencing. They're paying him his full salary because once they go on the injured reserve, they don't get their game check. I hope that's not the case with him because that was not his fault.
Yeah, no. There's probably or should be a clause in there that says like, hey, if some type of freak accident happens, you still get your money, because that would only be the fair thing to do. Let's move along to Saints Lions, which I know you have a say so in this. Easy. Drew Brees with 246, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara 1983 in a touchdown, and Emmanuel Sanders. Before we get into that, I gotta ask you: Are you a Matthew Stafford fan? Is this somebody that you like? Would you shake his hand if he was walking down the street?
I mean, I'd shake the guy's hand. I mean, I ain't gonna disrespect him like that. I feel like I've never been a Stafford slappy, and you get a lot of that here in Detroit. Who like, I was on a show. It's called the Detroit Sports Alliance. And there's a gentleman on part of that roundtable who tried to tell me that Matthew Stafford's on the same level of Patrick Mahomes skill wise. I'm like, bro. I'm like, this. People get that crazy over here, right? But like, I've come to terms with like he's good. He's not great. But I feel like a lot of this is just like our coaching right now is just so damn like terrible. I mean, Stafford's definitely doesn't help. Like that one interception he threw in the end zone, you know what I'm saying? Like in the red zone, like that hurt. But I feel like Stafford's good enough to get it done just because we've seen guys like Nick Foles, Trent Dilfer, like, you know what I'm saying? We see those kind of quarterbacks win Super Bowls, you know? So I feel like as long as it's not super awful, you know, I'm not going to complain too much about the quarterback, but I'm more focused on getting some new leadership because before Will joined in, we kind of talked about Matt Patricia. They're asking him, you know, I guess about his tenure and what he's done. He kind of like blamed it on the team he inherited. And it's like, bro, it's 3 years later, man. Like how are you going to blame the damn team who had a better record when you got them? Like,
right.
At this point, if our leader is unwilling to accept and take accountability for his mistakes, I feel like that's what we need to focus on is leadership.
Yeah. Let's before we go any further, which we should have talked about this from the jump, but Bill O'Brien has finally gotten fired. The coach / GM got the boot. I mean, first off, we know the DeAndre Hopkins trade was probably one of the worst possible trades you could have done to a quarterback that you just paid. You bring in David Johnson. No, David Johnson is a horrible running back, but you already had running backs there, and I think you could have filled that in. But he gets fired. That was the headlining breaking news of today. But I think he deserved to get fired. If you make a trade like that, I don't know how you go to the president or whoever and say, we're going to trade our best wide receiver, but we'll be okay. All right. We'll be fine this year. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. We'll be great. We'll go 4-0, and they're 0-4 right now. And Deshaun Watson is still running for his life. Like if they can't get an O-line for this kid, like I don't know, how long do you expect him to play out this contract if he's going to be running for his life every single opportunity he gets? So it's about time that it happened. EAZY, were you surprised? What was your thoughts when you seen that come across your timeline?
I'm jealous, man. Why can't the Lions fire our damn coach, man? Damn. That trade was crazy because they're not. The reasoning for the DeAndre Hopkins trade they came out with was they did it for cap space. But then you bring over David Johnson, who has damn near just as much cap space. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's the end game here, man? Like, and then it is crazy and kind of sad to see Deshaun Watson damn near every time he takes a damn, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's running for his life right away. It's crazy to me that they've done what they've done.
Yeah, and they've still just kept, you know, Watt is going to be the staple on that team no matter what. But everybody else just seems to be expendable, obviously. And then besides Deshaun Watson, then you bring in Will Fuller, and Will Fuller was already there. So that he is not your number one wide receiver. Somebody mentioned this. I don't know if it was you, Will, in the past show. They all won straight. They all run the same exact routes. They're not creative. They're not able to do the different things that you need to do. But Will, give me your thoughts.
I have a rule about an organization that you got 3 what the hell you doing before I say y'all don't know what y'all doing in the entire organization. That includes, I'm gonna start with number 1 for them. First, they made Bill O'Brien the GM. That's one. Coach and GMs don't usually mix. So Bill O'Brien, the GM, failed Bill O'Brien, the coach. 2, they traded for Laramie Tunsil. He was not a perennial All-Pro. They gave up 2 number 1 draft picks for him. So that's number 2. And 3, you traded D-Hop. So that's 3. That tells me your entire organization don't know what the hell they're doing. So it's just not Bill O'Brien. It's an entire organization problem. If you have 3 of those, you don't know what you're doing. So, and I'm not a big fan of firing guys mid-season in football because all they tell us as fans is it takes time to get the team to gel, to implement a system. Now, I know they're not going to change the system from Bill O'Brien. They're going to probably continue it more than likely whoever's remaining and going to call plays a little different, but it'll be the same system. So why fire the guy mid-season? You knew what he was doing. Right. You knew what you had on the roster. Right. Why are you shocked? So basically, Bill O'Brien is a Will Fuller bobbled catch in the end zone from having his job today. That's basically what you're saying.
True. I mean, and that's the thing. I agree with you there. I think in this situation though, you had to let this guy go because you're 0-4, and it was riding on decisions that you made as GM/coach. Now in the NBA, if you fire a guy three games into the season, like they did at the Earl Watson 1 year, I'm like, you knew what Earl Watson was last year. You knew what he was the year before that. But then you say, oh, well, it's 4 games in. We don't like what we've seen so far. It's the same guy. Like, I don't get that. Now, I think this one, though, you gotta peel the Band-Aid off. The season's not going to be great. The season's already not great. You're probably not making it to the playoffs. So, it's no better time than present.
They don't have a first-round pick. It goes to the Dolphins. So I want them to stink. But still, I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
Why let the guy go? I mean, who's the interim coach?
I'm assuming it's going to be
Crennel, I think.
Oh my goodness!
And Crennel is a defensive coach, so who's running the offense? I guess is going to be the question.
Bill Belichick's assistants don't do good as head coaches. That's
crazy. It's insane because he's like the greatest coach in my opinion.
They don't do it. Patricia McDaniels went over to Denver. Yeah. And then he decided I'm gonna go over to the Colts. And then like 5 minutes later, he said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that."
Do you think he knew? Do you think he knew about Luck's neck issue? That's why he didn't take that job. I know it was a year before, but I'm just
maybe. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the writing was on the wall. The guy just couldn't stay healthy. Did anybody think he was going to retire like mid-game? I didn't think that.
No.
But I knew he was going to be an injury-riddled player just because of his past history.
They built that offensive line too late. He was what you guys are saying about Deshaun Watson. That's what was going on with Andrew Luck, and he took a beating, and he kept getting up though. But eventually, those hits catch up with you. That's the fear that a lot of people have for Lamar Jackson. Although he seems to be too fast to get a square hit on, but they catch up with you in this league, league. So eventually you're going to have to develop the ability to throw the ball. And with Deshaun Watson, you guys are right. That offensive line is just absolutely trash. It is bad as Dallas's defense. That offensive line is trash. It is.
You're right. I'm not going to lie. You're 100% right.
And I don't care who they have at running back. They can have Carlos Hyde. They can have Duke Johnson. They can have David Johnson. I don't care. They can't run block. They can't pass block. They can't run block. He's just been a Houdini back there. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson. And now he can escape all he wants to, but he can't find anybody to throw the ball to.
Magic. I mean, he's having to be Magic Johnson. He's having to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's having to be all of these legends. He's having to be Michael Vick. I mean, like, and I guess the thing that I don't understand is like you pay a guy. What if he continues to get hurt? What if he, God forbid, he has a career-ending injury, and because you didn't put the pieces in place to protect him? Like, to me, that just doesn't make business sense. And maybe that could be another reason why ownership was just like, we just need to cut ties now. And maybe I don't know how you're going to build an offensive line right now. It's kind of too late, but. Deshaun Watson is hit this year is almost a waste for him. It's a stats year that goes towards what he's going to do throughout the rest of his career. It's a stat stuff in year. That's it, because they're not winning anything.
How big was the signing bonus? Because I hope it was hefty. Because NFL contracts are not guaranteed. So if he gets hurt, he doesn't get paid. But if he has a hefty signing bonus, he's okay. But Deshaun Watson's in trouble. He needs to be Bears or somebody.
Yeah, I don't even know how they're going to build around him without these draft picks now, too. Because like you have your quarterback taking up majority of your cap space, you don't even have the draft picks to build a team around him. So he might be getting traded. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're about to do. I'm thinking about that.
So here's his signing bonus. $27 million was the signing bonus.
Good for him.
4 for 156 is the full contract. He's getting 32 this year, 32 next year. It's this is just one of those casualties that we shouldn't see. Yeah, I think in this day and age in the NFL, we continue to see it. We got KC and New England on right now. Brian Hoyer, aka the guy that doesn't start.
The substitute teacher.
Right, exactly.
That's what he was. No, I'm serious.
He was a substitute teacher?
He was getting ready to be a substitute teacher before he was picked up.
No
and Colin
way.
Kaepernick doesn't have a job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What channel is that game on? Is that ESPN?
CBS.
Yeah, they got Tony Romo and Jim Nantz calling that one.
Man, he's a great announcer. He was an average quarterback, but he was a great announcer.
Tony is breaking down stuff like 2 plays before it happens, and he's like, "See, I told you, Jim." That's what they were doing.
He's being coaching, man. It blows my mind.
Yeah, the guy's smart. But yes, he was average as a quarterback, but people loved him. People loved him here in Dallas. They fell in love with him, and they're probably still in love with him. So let's move along to some other games. Ravens, Washington. Now this game, obviously, if you're an NFL fan, you're going to pick the Ravens. And Lamar Jackson had a 50-yard run, just like you said, Will. Mm-hmm. Nobody can catch this guy. He makes one move and he is gone. It's like off to the races, like he's running track, and that's pretty much it. But I wanted to point out Dwayne Haskins, who had 314 yards, didn't throw an interception, didn't throw a touchdown either. But I like Haskins, I like McLaren, but this was going to be a win either way for the Ravens. So give me your thoughts on this one. Will, start off with you.
They got this thing that I've been hearing all day called empty stats. All that stuff you just spit off is empty stats. That's Dwayne. I mean, good for Dwayne Haskins that he's able to he'll probably get a bonus off his contract because he got all those yards. But all that stuff is empty. They lost the ball game. They couldn't stop the run, and they're limited on offense. You named the only 2 players that they got on that offensive side of the ball. So Washington is a team that'll be battling with the Dolphins, the Lions, and all these other teams for the top spot for maybe Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the Dolphins don't need Trevor Lawrence, but anyway, they'll be battling for the top spot. This Washington team is terrible, and good for the Ravens for bouncing back. But I saw a flaw in Lamar Jackson again yesterday that he still has a problem throwing the ball to the outside. I don't know what it is. He can throw the ball over the middle to the tight ends, but he's having a hard time connecting on the outside, and he's going to have to do that if they're going to beat Kansas City.
Yeah, which that's the big dog. That's the big dog on the block. They're going to run into him sooner or later in the playoffs. Or even if they don't run into them, they're going to run into Tennessee. You know what happened with them in Tennessee last year. So, but easy.
Yeah, man, to be honest with you guys, I don't know how much longer Lamar is going to be great until these defenses start figuring him out. Right now, it's kind of just pure talent, right? Like him making plays, and just like Will said, you can't even get a clean hit on the guy. But like once that slows down, or teams pick up on the schemes that have other teams have had success with, I don't know how long he's going to be like I said, great, because he really isn't that great at throwing the ball. Like Will said, certain areas and on the field, but his talent running wise and just like freaking defenses out was kind of making up for it. So kudos to them. But yeah, this Washington team is ugly. To be honest with you guys, I didn't pay too much attention to that game because it's like that Washington don't do it.
You knew who was going to win. It wasn't a surprise. It was just a matter of what the end score was going to be. That was kind of.
I don't think Chase Young played either. Did he sit out?
I don't know.
I think he's injured because he got hurt.
Yeah,
he got hurt the last game.
I tuned in. I think I saw him on the sideline. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going back to wherever the hell I was just watching before. I was like, I wanted to come check it out real quick because I've been thinking about making a move for Lamar in my fantasy league because I keep saying he's on a down league. Telling this guy he's having a bad year. He's giving to me because Tom ain't consistent enough. But that's
yeah, Tom is up and down. I think I started him. I had the choice between him or Carson Wentz, and I went with Grandpa Tommy, and he came.
And y'all had better fantasy quarterbacks than I did because I went with Jared Goff yesterday. I just thought I thought they would destroy the Giants. Man.
That's what I thought too. Who's your backup?
My backup is Drew Brees. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of him. Nobody wants him.
What did he finish with yesterday?
He had a good game, but if we're going to base it on yards after the catch, that's pretty much where most of those plays came from. They threw a lot of dink and dunk. He did throw a couple of passes downfield, but it's not Michael Thomas that he's missing. It's Drew Brees is the problem. He just can't push the ball down the field, and I don't know what Detroit was thinking yesterday. I don't know why they were laying off receivers. Just hug up on him, make him prove to you that he can throw the ball over the top at some point, and not keep throwing screen passes to Alvin Kamara. But Alvin Kamara's a baller, so he bailed that offense out yesterday, in my opinion.
Kamara, he's amazing to me. I think him and McCaffrey are like 1 and 2 as far as running backs go in the league right now.
Well, Ben might not like that. He might want Zeke in that conversation.
Hey, Zeke should be in there. Zeke is 2, arguably 1. Saquon if he was healthy, but I think Saquon's got a little bit more to go before you can put him in that conversation. But
let's talk about them Cowboys.
Let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, we might as well. Cowboys lose to the Browns. You can't call them the doo-doo Browns anymore. But I think here's the point. Any team that plays the Cowboys, they look like a Super Bowl team. They look like they're going to the Super Bowl when they play us. The defense is trash. There's a lot of injuries, but still, like, you can't stop Dearness Johnson. Does anybody know who that is?
No.
Will, you know who that is?
No, I don't know who that is.
He had 85 yards.
Hey, I don't even know who that is. That's what's doing y'all damage.
Exactly. The dude was working at. They said it like 4 times. You know how they do this on the broadcast. A couple months ago, he was working on a fishing boat, and now he's running it up on the Cowboys today. I was like, "We all shut up! Stop saying that." I get it. We got torched, but this defense is horrible, man. I was expecting it to at least be a tad bit better than last year, but this defense is literally just giving up yards left and right. They average 7 yards a carry. Like, if you have Daryl Worley as your corner, you already know it's going to be a long day. And that's who the starting corner is, Daryl Worley, which nobody even knows who that is. I don't. Most people don't. But we got injuries all over the field, and we can't stop. If you can't stop somebody, that's going to be a problem. Last week, you tried to get into a shootout with Russell Wilson. You know how that turns out. Nobody gets into a shootout with Russell Wilson and expect you're going to win. So they should be 0-4. Like, I'm an honest Cowboys fan. I'm not one of those saying, "Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl every year." No, I would be surprised if we get 7 wins. And this whole conference is like first 1 to 7 wins.
or 6.
Yeah. So
is that Odell? Is that Odell behind you right now?
That is Odell right there. Boom.
Would you lose a bet or what happened? You just
I just like the graphic.
Okay.
I use that for the logo for the YouTube video. But Odell went off. Odell traditionally goes off on us. One-handed catch, obviously. He did a reverse today. Nobody acts like they can tackle. Like, what? This is not an NFL team. I don't know what this is. So
Jarvis Landry threw a touchdown on you guys.
Exactly. With the left hand.
That
was a sick play. But whoever wants to go first, it doesn't really matter.
This what sums up that game to me, and this is what sums up your defense. A wide receiver threw a touchdown, and a wide receiver ran for a touchdown.
Right.
on gadget plays.
Gadget plays, exactly. Yeah.
That sums up your defense right there. The 307 yards and Baker Mayfield dinking and dunking you all day. What summed up that game to me was Jarvis Landry threw a touchdown and a wide receiver ran for one. So that sums up everything. That's all you need to know about your defense right there.
That's all right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to kill Dak for the yards or the empty stats because he had to do that. Y'all were down 41-14, so he had to do it. But here's my question, and I'm amazed that nobody's asked this today. Where did Amari Stoudemire thought that football was going on that last play? Where did he think that ball was going?
I don't even know.
Did he stop because he saw the linebacker, or did he just did not think the ball was coming to him?
They said in the broadcast he looked like they got confused, but you're the only one. He was the only one in the area. Like,
did he run out of bounds?
No, that was the play at the end of the game where they picked it off. Denzel Ward picked the ball off. But the thing is, they ran that same play earlier in the game. That was that same play where that bullet went straight through. Dak threw an amazing pass, but it was the same play. So I don't know. I think he got a little shook. And I think honestly, I think he's just let up. Like, I mean, if you play for the Cowboys team, you got to be sick and tired of every single week. You only play when you're down by 20. If you're up by 7, it's like you coasting. But when you get down by 20, it's like Dak gets into like Captain Saberhole mode, and he's like, we got to go all crazy. E40 reference, if y'all don't know what that is.
Oh, I know that is.
Yep.
That's the same thing I call Nick Foles because he's always trying to save a team.
I know this much. If I was Dak's agent, I'll be a happy dude right about now.
Oh, yeah. Leading the league in passing.
Because here's the thing.
Wow.
The wide receiver you gave money. You paid Ezekiel Elliott 2 years before his rookie contract was up. You paid the offensive lineman, who's not playing, by the way. Your defense, you paid most of those guys that are supposed to be stars over there, and they look like duds. So why can't my guy get paid again?
I don't get it. And the thing is, in Dallas, they love Dak. Like they cherish him because he's like the prototypical guy that doesn't get into trouble, doesn't cause any issues. And it's like they're stepping on paying this guy. When you pay Romo, they just got finished paying Romo like 2 years ago. They just got finished playing Dez. They had, this is a long time ago, but they had Troy Aikman on like some crazy contract. When he was done playing, they were still paying him. So money's not a problem. So what is the issue? Like, and at this point, yeah, you got to be feeling real good. Dak's got to be feeling real good, which the same thing happened last.
They're courting. They're in the courting stage of this relationship.
Maybe they got post-traumatic spending disorder from that Tony Romo and Troy Aikman contract.
Something.
Hey, shout out to Cornelius King. You got a friend. You got a friend.
Yeah. Fellow Lions fan. Yes, I got a question for you as a Lions fan because we faced Mike McCarthy a lot here in the NFC North, like twice a year when he was at Green Bay. Were you happy with that hiring? Because when they did that, I was kind of like, what? Like
what? Exactly.
I was happy with anybody because I couldn't take Garrett anymore. I couldn't take the Clapper. This dude was you would be down. They're down by 15. And he's like, good job, guys. I'm like, no, it's not a good job. Get in there behinds because if you down and all you're doing is like nonchalant on the sideline. So when McCarthy came in, he was doing his whole recruiting and video barn that he had going on. That's what he was doing while he wasn't coaching. And when they hired him, I was like, okay, it's not Garrett. Let's see what's going to happen. It looks the same. It actually looks worse than last year. But here's the thing. You decide to keep Kellen Moore, which I get it. People like young coordinators and all that. This dude has no creativity at all. And when you hire someone, there is no way that this kid could have put together a playbook that quickly from the time he got hired to that week 1 game or preseason. So he probably has pieces of Garrett's playbook, pieces of Scott Linehan's playbook. So it's no creativity and there's no adjustments being made. So I don't know. I just know we're 1-3 and this division sucks. So it's still going to be between us and the Eagles. One of them is going to be the de facto winner. Which
and don't forget, there's extra playoff teams this year now too.
Yeah.
So
I'm with just skip over this conference. None of us deserve to be in there. Go somewhere else. Just go to a different conference, a different division, and let somebody else get in there.
That would be nice. That would be the correct thing to do. But this is 2020. Nothing's going right in 2020.
Yeah.
So.
You're about to have, we're probably about to have 2 under 500 teams in the playoffs.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't because, we all know the NFL, you have your top tier teams, the Kansas Cities, the Baltimores, San Francisco when they're healthy. That mess last night is not the San Francisco team that we know, but they got so many injuries. Right. But then you got everybody else and the Packers, but then you got everybody else jumbled in, and we'll see who gets there. I wouldn't be surprised if a team that's right now has a losing record get in. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers make a run or the Vikings make a run. I wouldn't be because this is that type of season to where I think a team can get hot at a certain point and they can make a run.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee did last season.
Right. This is one of those years where honestly anything could happen. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If you say, oh, that couldn't happen, anything could happen. Hell, the Texans could somehow make it into the playoffs. And as much as we're talking about them, anything could happen this year. But you had anything else you want to add on to that, Easy? You want to roast me a little bit more on that?
No, man. I mean, I feel your pain, right? Like I'm here in Detroit, but I think because we used to have Scott Linehan too. Actually, I think think he was really creative. I think he was a good offensive coordinator. If anything, I would have kept that guy around, or maybe even. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are gonna do because I don't think Mike McCarthy's the answer for you guys. I mean, you guys might turn around though, for real. You guys got a talented team. Don't you guys got Alden Smith on defense now too?
Do. And Alden Smith is leading the league in sacks. The guy that hasn't been in the league for 4.5 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to win comeback player of the year, and he's probably going to get a little bit bigger contract, what he's gotten now. I'm sure it's probably incentive laden anyway.
Yeah, you gotta pay that guy incentive laden, man. Everybody's seen what happens with him when he gets a big contract.
It's a damn shame how good he was, and
he's very good. He still is. I mean,
yeah. I mean, obviously, I know he's leading the league in sacks. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they have him listed. The interesting thing, they have him listed at linebacker, but he's not really playing linebacker. He's like that edge rusher, basically.
Yeah,
trying to get to the quarterback.
Let me address Cornelius real quick. He says the Bears could win with the QB change. Tell Mitchell Trubisky to hold on, because Nick Foles is at some point going to mess up this season.
Trubisky's sitting back there like, yeah, okay, when is it going to happen?
Like they say, you got to come see me. They're going to have to come see Mitchell Trubisky at some point, because Nick Foles is Nick Foles.
I know as a Lions fan, I wanted to make fun of him too for that signing, because Cam Newton was there, but here we are.
Oh, you'll have your opportunity to make fun of him, because I'm telling you, Nick Foles is Nick Foles. I'm telling you, they're going to have to come see Mitchell Trubisky before the season's over.
Yeah.
We know who Nick Foles is. We know
I still probably take Nick Foles over Trubisky. He ain't.
Even in the midst of a game where they're already 2-0, we know the Falcons choke leads, and you replace the guy based upon the fact that, he missed some throws. But Nick Foles missed some throws coming into that game, too. It's just the Falcons are just such choke artists. They can't tackle. They forgot to cover the skinny post for some reason. Mitchell Trubisky could have did the same thing. What you saw from Nick Foles yesterday, that's what you're going to see for the rest of the season.
I think they were itching to get him in there. You bring him in there to come in there and try to save. And look, I'm a North Carolina fan, and when Mitchell Trubisky got picked that high, I was like, why? I'm the only probably guy that anybody knows that watches North Carolina football games, and I knew that guy is not that talented. Like, look, he's playing against Duke. He's playing, when it came to playing big names, he didn't do anything. But when it came to playing the Dukes and Virginias of the world, I mean,
okay, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit, because he played against Miami that year, and Miami had a pretty good team. They went 8-4, but their defense was really good. He had a heck of a first half in that game down in Joe Robbie Stadium, or Sun Life Stadium, whatever they call it now. But he played well in that first half, and I thought the kid was talented. I didn't think he was number 2 overall talented. But I thought that kid was talented. I thought he was athletic. He showed a nice arm, and he embarrassed Miami in the first half. The Miami Hurricanes football college team, he embarrassed them in the first half. So I saw the talent. Now, number 2 overall, no, I didn't see that. But I didn't see Pat Mahomes.
I'm saying like 10.
They traded up to get him.
I'm saying later in the draft, it's like, we got Mitchell Trubisky. Like, but here's the thing, combine. It's like combine, just like people just go freaked out that he can throw a long ball, then he ran a good 40. Like that to me, that's inflated stats, because that doesn't always equal like you being a superstar in the league, or you even being able to lead your team to a Super Bowl. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady looked like the dude that was a paper boy, or the bag boy at the Whole Foods or whatever. That's what he looked like when he was. So, like, come on, like I get it. I'm not one of those that don't watch the combine. I want to see the 40 time just because I want to see that, but I'm not looking at how many squats you get and all that kind of stuff.
But Tom Brady fell into the perfect situation. He fell to a veteran team that was meant for Drew Bledsoe. Bledsoe got hurt, and Brady came in, and they were so vanilla with him, but that team was so veteran laden, and they got a timely bye at the end of that year that propelled them into the playoffs, and then they got the right matchups that got them through to be able to go to the Super Bowl, and they had the perfect game plan for the Rams. It wasn't because of Tom Brady that he won his first Super Bowl. He was a part of the team, but that defense that Bill Belichick came up against to stop the greatest show on turf, that was the major factor in Tom Brady getting his win. But none of us, I don't think none of the the professional scouts could measure the man's work ethic. And that's what made him into the player he was, his work ethic.
Exactly. Perfect comparison. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was the last pick. Was he the last pick in the first round or the last
pick in the first round?
First round, yeah.
And his work ethic, that's what got him to where he was. And some timely, D Rose injuries definitely got him kind of pushed.
Oh, yes.
And then up into that.
Then he played with other guys who were just as big as jerks as he was, and Joakim Noah, Taj Gibson, and those guys are just as big as jerks as Jimmy Butler. So he fell into the perfect situation, and he's really at home now with the Miami Heat because he's with an organization that don't care what. Look, they just about production. Feelings get hurt, they get hurt. We just want production. So that's why Jimmy's in the perfect situation. But when he started out in Chicago, perfect situation. Because I remember that Chicago team. Had D Rose not got hurt, I don't think the Miami Heat makes 4 straight finals because I was
watching highlights today. D Rose, you forget how good that man was.
Man,
that dude was. He's the youngest MVP in the league for a reason. I mean, D Rose was good.
This kid. I mean, I was seeing some highlight tapes from high school. This dude just hops out of the gym. I mean, he did a windmill. Then he got a steal, came back down, did another windmill, and he didn't look. I mean, to me, he didn't look that tall. I don't know how tall he is. Maybe 6.
I think he's like 6 foot, 6'2", maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
one thing I remember from his career is when he would hit that hole, he'd get up in the air. It was like electricity. He was like, wow, he was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like he was hitting clutches. It don't matter. He had so much time in the air, and the movement was just so insane. Is truly talented. I'm grateful that I got to watch him live do that stuff because it was.
We're in a prisoner of the moment culture, and I get it. And everybody's talking about Jimmy Butler made 40 points without no 3-pointers last night. Do they know that Derrick Rose scored 39 points in a playoff game against the Boston Celtics and did not make 1 3-pointer?
Yeah,
not one.
Oh, you got Lions question.
that kid, his talent was so freakish, man, and it was something that you couldn't put on paper. And the injuries, there's a good documentary. I don't know if it's called D Rose or what, but I think it's on Amazon Prime, maybe. But it really goes deep into the injury, how that really affected him. Then he ended up getting a phone call out of the blue that he got traded. I mean, that stuff messes with people. These people are humans, okay? I think we put them on this pedestal, that shouldn't affect you because you get paid that much money. They're still human. Like Paul George. Paul George is still human, but I think we put Paul George on a little bit of a higher pedestal too early, in my opinion. But I think that's a different story.
You don't think it was deserved because he was coming up with that Indiana team. That Indiana team wasn't bad.
He did his thing for sure.
Yeah, he was. But I think it's like that though. It to me it just happens so quick. Give it a couple seasons. You do that a couple seasons, then I think you can definitely put him in there.
He got hurt too. He did.
That injury, I think that injury would have freaked me out. The way it happened.
Right. Speaking of D Rose, he cried when he saw it.
Yeah.
He started shedding tears.
Easy, we got a question for you on do you think Matt Patricia will finish the season or should he even be allowed to?
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I wanted to ask that to you guys earlier, actually, too. Am I tripping? Am I just being over the top, or does this guy need to go? Because especially after that comment, I don't know if Will was here for it when I got to read it, but your leaders can't be talking like that, man.
I missed it. I didn't hear it. What did he say?
Let me find it. So I'm gonna find it for you real quick. I apologize. Okay, so, and I remember what question was asked, but what he says, when I came to Detroit, there was a lot of work to do when they were talking about following the loss of the Saints. So they pulled up Jim Caldwell's record from the team that he inherited was 9-7. Matt Patricia has since gone 10-25. At 3 years later, too, you can't have an excuse. As a leader or as a man, you got to look at the mistakes you made to assess them and learn from them to get better. Because otherwise, you're not going to get better. You're just going to keep doing the same shit because you don't think there's nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If your leaders are talking like that, man, it's time to go. You got to get the hell on, man. I can't.
And Matt Patricia's record, which you mentioned this earlier, Easy, 10, 25, and 1. That's over 3 seasons. They finished last in the NFC North every single year, 6-10, 3-12. They're now 1-3.
Stop.
Yeah. He needs to be gone. I don't know. I mean, they fired Bill O'Brien. It kind of becomes that fire starter and that trickle down effect, because he could be gone, halfway through the season, bye week maybe. Who knows? Taryn poses a question: which NFL coach gets the axe next?
Patricia.
There you go. I agree with that. They're 1-3. Let's the bottom feeders of the league. 0-4 Jets. Who is the coach? Is that Gabe?
He's not going nowhere. I don't want him to go nowhere because I hate the Jets and I want him to stay so they can keep thinking.
That's how I felt about the Bears and Jay Cutler at one point. Actually, that's how I'm not keep him there.
Hey,
okay, keep working on that.
Yeah.
Bengals. They're not gonna let that guy go.
Oh no. Zach Taylor's okay.
Denver Broncos. They shouldn't. The amount of injuries they had, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
New York Giants. That's not gonna happen. Minnesota Vikings. They're 1-3. Do you continue to ride? Well, actually, the guy should be Dan Quinn. That is the guy that should be gone now.
Exactly.
That after that debacle against the Cowboys, like you're all looking around, he should have got fired after that game. I would have been like, okay, like look, man, this is a game that we should have won. I was okay, I got over the Super Bowl thing, but then we do this, and then we do it again the next week. Who do they lose to the next week? They lost in a comeback.
They lost to Chicago the very next week. They lost to Chicago.
Next week. They blew a 15-point lead or a 20-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would have. And tonight, sorry to say it, but they're about to lose again. So they're about to be 0-4. Yeah. So what better time to do it? Could the Jets go 0-16? Yes, they could. Mono, I call him Mono Darnold. If y'all remember, who catches mono in this day and age? Like, what are you doing with your life?
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Mess with the nasty girls. Freak nasty girls in New York.
Exactly.
You don't know no better.
Good old Sam Darnold. Let's get to another game that happened. The update on the score is still Chiefs 6, Patriots 3. But let's see, going down the list. Cardinals, Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, 276 and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Mike Davis. I got him on my fantasy team, and Robbie Anderson. Thank you to both of those guys coming through without McCaffrey. Mike Davis has been a big pickup. I didn't even know who this guy was. I was just looking at the fantasy list, and they were like, "Hey, pick up this guy. He's gonna get you 11 points." And he's been straight up money for me. But Cardinals.
Yeah, we did a DraftKings. Me and Ben. He put it on.
Oh, y'all gotta let me in. Y'all gotta let me in on that.
Yes, next week.
Okay. All right.
We start keeping our records too. We'll come. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
Are you guys sold? Are you guys sold on Kyler Murray? You see Kyler Murray?
No. I told you this last week. No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Kyler Murray is a small guy.
Lions, yeah.
No, man, he's a small guy, and I like the kid at Oklahoma, but I am not sold. And I know he got D-Hop. All you had to do was watch that first game. He was glued to D-Hop, which makes sense. I mean, that's one of the best receivers in the game, but you are not going to beat NFL defenses like that. Yeah. You'll beat college defenses like that, but not NFL. So no, I'm not sold, and I'm not sold on Kingsbury. So,
yeah, I think it was disrespectful to Russell Wilson the way they keep taking these players like first round because of him. Because I think it's a discredit to like how good he is. Because you're thinking you get the same result, but that man is him. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen nothing like that until him. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's Doug Flutie was a smaller guy. I guess Drew Brees, but Russell Wilson was saying he scrambles a little bit, makes some plays on the run. I think people thinking they could just like grab any guy who played baseball, it can run a little bit and think it's gonna be Russell Wilson. Just disrespectful to
that is extremely disrespectful because Russell Wilson was a graduate transfer at Wisconsin. He graduated from state while he played minor league baseball at North Carolina State, and then he went and became a graduate transfer at Wisconsin. Russell Wilson is a very mature guy, but and he has great leadership, and he won the quarterback position, the quarterback job as a 4th round draft pick as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
he wasn't the number 1 pick. So
they paid Matt Flynn a big contract, and Russell Wilson.
Matt Flynn, exactly.
Let me have that job right quick.
He was like, Matt Flynn, who? Yeah,
right, exactly. They had to go with him because he was just outperforming that guy. So No, this thing, and I get it. Sports is a copycat league. I understand how that goes. We all know, we've watched it, but sometimes you just can't duplicate certain guys. And Russell Wilson is one of those guys. He's just a unique guy. I watched him again against Dolphins yesterday. He makes me sick. I'm serious, because you can't tackle him. And then every time he scrambles, it seems to be for positive yards. Either he's going to run it or he's going to find a guy wide open. So I don't understand it.
That's that's the part about him that I can't the way he just finds guys open and then hits them right on the money while on the run. It blows my mind, man. It's him and Mahomes does it too. But Mahomes is a plethora of receivers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people forget about that. But Russell Wilson is just amazing because no matter who his receivers have been, he's always been that guy making those plays.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing that gets me is he must be the obviously he played baseball, but he does the most opportune and perfect slides ever. There's a defensive back or a linebacker coming at him. As soon as they dive, it's like bam, he slides. I don't remember the last time I seen this guy get knocked out. I don't remember the last time I seen him get clocked. And he runs. He's so elusive and he's slippery. And I mean, Russell Wilson, and the guy hasn't had one MVP vote. How crazy does that even sound? Even the year that they went to the Super Bowl, even the years that they have played without beast mode and without a wide receiver,
offensive line,
without an offensive line, it's crazy.
Russell Wilson,
he's underrated for sure.
I know this much. Russell Wilson, Shaq sacked Russell Wilson yesterday, and Shaq Lawson got hurt.
And he's taking rap guys' girlfriends and kids. So what?
Oh damn!
and turning out to be the perfect stepfather and all this stuff. I mean, you can't hate on Russ, man. He's a perfect stepfather. I mean,
you can't hate on Russ, baby.
I didn't even know who Sierra was until she started. I didn't, man. I'm old. I'm close to 50, so I didn't know who she was. And when I heard he was with a hip hop girl, it shocked me because I'm like, ain't he a Christian? And aren't hip hop girls a little bit bit out of his league? But
especially because Future's trying to beef with him. He's such a good guy. He's he can't even. He got no response.
You can't even do a diss track because Russell would be like, you know what? That was a really good song. I was listening to that the other day, Future.
And I'm just gonna pray for you. That's it.
He was me and Little Future was listening to that, but the unedited version. We're not going to listen to the cuss words.
He don't cut. They had the man mic'd up. He does not cuss. He's a very competitive guy. He beats you and then he wants to have prayer at the end of the game. Hey man, you can't be bad with that.
What's better than that, man? Yeah. You can't rag on this guy at all. If you got one bad thing to say, something's wrong with you. Something wrong with your heart.
And they tried to say he's too Christian. Listen, if that's the only thing bad you got to say about somebody, that's crazy to me. He's too Christian.
That's bad.
Wow.
That's bad. Let's go to Vikings Texans. This was obviously we just talked about Bill O'Brien got fired. The Vikings, which are a struggling team, which they should not. I guess my question to you guys is why do they continue to struggle? It's probably Kirk Cousins. But why do they continue to struggle week in, week out?
Stefanski is in Cleveland. That's why. Their offensive coordinator's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator got Kirk Cousins a guaranteed contract because you know why? He gave the ball to Dalvin Cook. He knew Kirk Cousins is not that guy. And then on top of that, for some reason, they let Stephon Diggs. That's the other. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
They let Stephon Diggs go to Buffalo, and look what he's doing in Buffalo.
115. He put it up on them. He put it up on the Raiders this week.
I don't understand, but if you want to know what's wrong with them, besides injuries, Kevin Stefanski's in Cleveland. That's what's wrong with them.
Yeah,
1000%. I agree. Yeah, the offensive coordinator is missing. Stephon Diggs is missing. Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback.
No,
he's not a good like how I talk about Stafford's good, but he's not great. I think Cousins even below that. To be honest, it's crazy that he got that contract guaranteed too.
Guaranteed.
His agent got off, man. They should arrest that man for robbery or something. That's
robbing the bank. Dalvin Cook. Did y'all see that play? Dalvin Cook bouncing to the outside. I don't know if he juked one guy, and then the guy came up to him, and he just pushed him like a piece of paper. The dude was like, oh.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with the Lions didn't take him. Was he a second-round pick, Dalvin Cook?
He had a background issue. That's why a lot of teams passed on him. He had some issues at Florida State, and they didn't do him any favors with their report about him.
Second round, 41st pick. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I think the Lions that year.
A lot of teams passed on him. A lot of teams said he should have been a first-round pick.
Amir Abdullah, though, was the guy that we took over. I think I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Well,
you guys haven't really had. I mean, you got AP, but AP is at the end, But you haven't really had a good running back since Barry Sanders. The curse of Barry. I can name a whole bunch of guys, but none of them really have been there for long enough to really even make a difference.
And I think we have guys now that would be like a great stable, with a good coach, but we just don't have that part.
Isn't Swift there?
Yes, so I'm still high on Swift, but I just don't think we're in the right offensive positions for him to shine. You know what I'm saying? Like we're scrambling to come back. The leads that we lose so damn quickly.
Well, your cornerback's in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, then you go and draft the cornerback. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, Kudo or
Kuda. So I'm trying to find who we drafted that year over Dalvin Cook. But yeah, we're a mess right now, man. I want that's the other thing too. I want to get rid of Patricia, factually and for sure, like quick as hell, is because we have these young talented guys in Akuda and Swift that I'm personally high on, but so like we have this leadership who's just gonna poison it with this guy. Your head coach is making excuses from 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't have that guy. That guy can't be the leader and poison this talent that we have now. He's got to. I
think you guys had a good draft last year with Swift and Akuda. Akuda's the real deal. He's just young. He's got to get. I just want him to
get poisoned by because our fans will get down too. We're almost like Philadelphia, where we'll start ragging on team or our players and stuff like that. But like, I feel like this situation is the coach. I mean, we've seen a lot of times where coaches will get a team like Sean McVay took Jeff. What was his name? Damn coach with the mustache. Who had the Rams before McVay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Very next year, turn them right around. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we have one of those rosters that if we had a coach, he could do some work. It's Kenny Galladay, Swift, Kerryon Johnson's, AP still okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we got Stafford's not bad. You know what I'm saying? He's just not great.
Who's the other wide receiver? Jones? Is it
Marvin Jones?
Marvin Jones is a solid wide receiver. Good three.
Yeah. And Madden, I'll do some work with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? I realize it's not that.
Now who Matt Patricia sounds like? Somebody that likes to blame people from 3 years ago. People that's no longer in office.
That guy. That's what he sounds. Yeah, 45. That's a good one. That's a good one.
He would trip over a rock and he'd be like, you know what? Obama put this rock right here. That's the reason why. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Obama's on the beach, man. Obama's in Hawaii putting his feet in the sand. Like, yeah. You happy now? But
yes, sir.
We don't do too much politics, but I had to put that in there. All right. The Bills. Bills beat the Raiders. Are the Bills believable? Is this their chance to win this division?
I feel like it depends on who they stumble across in the playoffs, and who they get in that situation, because they got enough to win. But if they stumble across Jeff Fisher, there we go. Thank you,
that guy. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, they stumble. I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like the Bills got their defense has always been nice, and now they finally got a quarterback and Stephon Diggs. I feel like they could do some damage for real. I like them.
4-0.
That's my preseason. That's my preseason Super Bowl pick. So yeah, I think the Bills got an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. I could. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna pick them for the Super Bowl, but I am gonna say the Bills look legit, and they have went through a few teams. Number 1, the Jets. 2, the Dolphins. The Rams. The Raiders. Now, week 5, I think is gonna be the biggest test. They play the Chiefs on 10-15. Is that Sunday or Monday? That's Thursday. They could put that. They put that game on Thursday night. Good job, NFL.
Damn, yeah, okay, yeah. You do Thursday nights to kind of ass. I think Tom Brady plays on a Thursday night coming up too.
NFL is like, hey, what is the worst possible matchup we have? Okay, let's put that one on Thursday.
Exactly.
Thursday's a stepchild.
In that game though, between them and Kansas City, Buffalo has the defense that can kind of match up with them.
I feel like they do because sometimes we saw against the Chargers, Kansas City isn't always Kansas City at times. And
you got to heat him up, but you can't blitz him like the Ravens did. But you got to heat Mahomes up, and you got to do it with 4 guys like the Chargers did with Bosa and Melvin Ingram in that game. They played against them, so the Bills can do that. They match up well with them, and offensively, they can score.
Yeah,
the Kansas City's not that strong on the defensive side of the ball, and the Bills can score. Man, they got a nice team. They are a very nice team.
I like Devin Singletary. I think he's a good running back from Florida Atlantic. You probably know something about him.
Yeah, man. I was trying to sleep on him, but he's undeniable at this point for me.
The most exciting thing about the Raiders is the stadium. That's about it.
Yeah,
I like Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs is good. Yeah,
Josh Jacobs. I would definitely give you that. I'm always looking at the stat sheet or highlights to see what he does. But yeah, Josh Jacobs is definitely that guy. I'll definitely give you that. And then the first place in the NFC least is the Philadelphia Eagles at 1-2-1. They lucked up. They lucked up on a win. Jimmy G not playing. Their running back Moser not playing. I mean, they lucked up on a win. So congratulations to them. All Eagles fans wanted to come at me today. Hey, look, you're 1-2-1. Exactly. You were in a tie with the Bengals. So don't come at me. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. And I can't
you're so disqualified. They are so disqualified. If you're celebrating 1-2-1 and the tie came to the Bengals, I don't care if the Cowboys lose 48-0. Man, sit down. Y'all tied with Bengals.
Carson Wentz anymore. I thought he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league a couple years ago, but now it's like but I mean, granted, again, he's without all of his receivers. Right. That may be one scary thing for you Cowboys fans, for the Cowboy fans. Yeah. Once Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson come back, maybe you might, maybe we might see Zach Ertz get a little bit more open, do what he does. But Carson Wentz, though, just watching him, the eyeball test isn't the same guy that
because Frank Reich's in Indianapolis. That's why Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator, and since Frank Reich's been gone, he's been terrible.
Oh damn! Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and they paid him, and they're still looking around like Cowboys are still looking around like, well, maybe we should or shouldn't pay Dak. If Wentz got that, and this is what I've said from the jump, all you had to do from the beginning is pay Dak $0.5 million in what you paid Wentz. It would have been all good. But now you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and now he's on a franchise tag. Like they just fumbled this. They fumbled this whole situation.
But, would you rather have Dak over Wentz?
Oh yeah, all day.
Yes.
What about you, Will? Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm not high on Dak.
I'm not high on Wentz. I wasn't high on Wentz when they were on their way to the Super Bowl that year. I just wasn't. It's just he doesn't impress me. He doesn't have the intangibles that you look for in like a Pat Mahomes or some of the other young guys. I thought he was a product of the system that they ran that year, and it does help that he had two good tight ends, and Zach Ertz and the other guy, I forgot his name right now, but
Goddard.
Yeah, Goddard. So it helps. I mean, you give any young quarterback 2 good tight ends, I mean that should help him tremendously. And for all this, Doug Peterson is this genius guy. No, Frank Reich. Give Frank Reich his love. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know. It's no coincidence when these guys leave and guys go down. There's no coincidence. Stefanski leaves, Kirk Cousins goes down. That's not a coincidence. Frank Reich leaves, and Carson Wentz has been the same. It's no coincidence. So, and I mean, Frank Reich made Jacoby Brissett look good last year. Didn't help, but he did make him look good.
True. True. Yeah, this is. I wasn't high on Wentz either. It was in that draft. Wentz, Goff, Dak was in the 4th round, but it was Wentz, Goff, and it was somebody else. Was it Allen? Josh Allen?
It was Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Allen.
Who fell off the face of the earth.
In the collective of those 3, the best one coming up above everybody else is Allen right now. I wouldn't put Goff up there either.
I'm thinking of who was the guy the Cardinals got in that one trade? Because didn't Buffalo draft 2 quarterbacks like back to back?
Yeah, they had Rosen the first year, and then they realized
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
they was like
hot tub Rosen.
But he has the intangibles. He can throw the football.
Nobody gives this guy a chance though. Like, when's the last time he got a real honest? Oh yeah.
We did. We gave him 2 games, and then we said, you know what? That's okay. We know why they drafted the other guy number 1 now.
See, personally,
That's okay.
I like Wentz over Dak just because I feel like Wentz is a better thrower of the ball. I feel like Dak's he's more of a playmaker guy for like, you know what I'm saying, scrambling and throwing it up. I feel like Wentz has that in him. You see like the success he has with like garbage receivers versus Dak having, you know, Amari plus the dominant run game with Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. They're not too far from each other. I can't say that Wentz is way
Dak
better.
Dak is way better. I kind of agree with you. Dak has had to improve each year. Carson Wentz, I think, is the same Carson Wentz from 4 years ago. I don't see any like progression, but I think Dak has progressed. Like this year alone, the pass from yesterday, you know, him zinging it into Amari, a year ago, I don't even think he would have made that pass. And then he's been lighting it up with CeeDee Lamb. Like, I got to ask you guys this honestly. The wide receivers for the Cowboys, to me, I think they got the best wide receiving core. Amari, Gallup, and CeeDee, you know, and then they're putting in all these Dak's throwing the dudes I didn't even know was on the team. And I'm a Cowboys fan, like for real. And they throwing to Cedric Wilson. I didn't think he was on the team anymore. Noah Brown, I thought he wasn't on the team anymore. But I think so. Give me your thoughts on that. You think they got the best wide receiving core in the game?
I don't think nobody's touching those Chiefs, man.
Yeah,
they got Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, McCole. Who else they got? They got a couple guys.
That's pretty much all they need right there because
right there, that's it.
The two guys on the outside that you mentioned, nobody can keep up with. Nobody keeps up with. Yeah, nobody keeps up with those guys, man. And I think the only reason they're struggling today is because the game's off. You know, it's an off-kilter game. You know, they were supposed to play yesterday, now they're playing today. So I think that's got a lot to do with what's going on with them today, and Bill Belichick.
Yeah, Cam. When I seen that come across Cam with COVID, I'm like, and the weirdest thing is he was the only one. I'm assuming there wasn't any other tests. There wasn't any other tests on the Patriots. And then also in the fantasy league I'm in, which I'm assuming this kid just gave up, but he started Cam Newton, and I was like,
he gave up like week 4, week 5.
Yeah, he gave me an easy win. I'll take it though. I love easy wins.
I don't like people. I like people that's engaged.
Yeah, especially want the people on the team too. Like just trade me your people, then man. Like
give me those easy wins, so then you can get pushed to the side, and I can be in first place. That's what I want. But
nothing wrong with that.
You play Madden All Rookie, don't you? Nah,
I haven't played Madden, man, in a minute.
Man, Madden is complicated if you old. When you get older, it's just I can't do all those route combinations and try to do all these audibles before. I like the old school
hot routes.
See, you just pitch the ball to the guy, and if you got a 98 guy running back, he's supposed to get to the outside and run. Now you got to set the blocking up. You got to make the receiver do this, go in motion. See, Madden's just too complicated for me. I can't do Madden no more. I used to though. I used to love Madden.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I used to be on the sticks all day, man. College football to me, when you were able to connect those two together, man, that was the good old days. That was the good old days of sports games for real. They got Brian Hoyer out here running around.
I was just saying, Bill Belichick is a genius, bro. Like to have this game as close as it is right now.
Yeah. All right. So
and they flew in today, didn't they? Or last night or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, they got their like right up to the limit or something like that.
Jet lag against Super Bowl champions, the best quarterback in the league, maybe second best. I don't know. Russ looking like a bad man this year, but that's crazy. This game's this close right now. I've been peeking at it.
So who you guys got tonight? The two games for tonight.
Kansas City and Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
that was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the consensus.
Yeah,
I feel like I mean, maybe the Falcons can pull it off just because Julio and Ridley are back tonight, right?
Julio's suited up. I don't know if Ridley is, but they just showed on Countdown that Julio's suited up.
Yeah, so like those guys, I feel like they can make, because say what you want about them blowing the leads, offensively they've been there, and Julio hasn't. So for them to be there without Julio, and now they're getting Julio back, maybe. But Green Bay is a good team too.
Well, some of those blown leads are because their offense it hasn't been sufficient enough late in ball games. Because as they had a chance last week to seal that game, and he missed throws. Matt Ryan, who's the most overrated quarterback in the league, besides the actor that plays quarterback in Cleveland.
Thank you. I've never thought that much of Matt Ryan. When he won the MVP, I was mad as hell. I was like, I hate being like, I'm not usually a salty fan. This is like, I've been a little salty towards Tom Brady, and Matt Ryan is definitely another person too. I've been like, Come on, bro. You guys got like.
And the fact that he can't, and I don't understand this. Maybe y'all can help me. The fact he can't get it to Julio Jones in the red zone at all, like at all. You just throw a toss up ball. I just don't get that. It's not as if this guy is a scrub wide receiver and you don't trust him. Maybe that's the game plan. Like if I was the owner,
it could be defense though too, because like Julio in the red zone, you're like, all right, we got baby Calvin over here. Y'all gotta come over here.
Will, I can see your face. What you thinking?
I'm thinking that Calvin, when he did get there, he had a lot of one-on-one opportunities. But their problem is, you're right. I don't know what it is with Matt Ryan not throwing the ball to Julio Jones in the red zone. It made no sense. Austin Hooper got more opportunities in the red zone last year when he was the tight end there than Julio Jones did in the red zone. So I don't know.
I was thinking because I say baby Calvin, I meant the Calvin from Detroit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like once because come on, once you get Julio on the red zone, like you got to double team him. You got to get bodies out of him. So maybe he's covered.
I think he's a little bit better than your Calvin.
What?
I think he's a tad bit better. Now, your Calvin, I gotta get that back to him because Calvin with Moss 3 guys. Calvin Johnson,
consistently
3 guys. Yeah, I got.
I know Brady knows. He brought Cowboys hearts a couple of times.
Oh yeah, he did. He did
300 yards one time.
Jumping up in a sea of 4 different players, just like hey, little kids, I got this.
Yeah,
little kids.
He was like a bunch of 8th graders. Like okay.
Hey, it was funny. They had this picture of Myles Garrett in high school standing next to his offensive line. It looked like a guy at an autograph signing little kids' autographs. This was his offensive line. He was that much taller. Myles Garrett is a freak, man. He was abusing us left and right. The one thing I'll say about Dak is that he holds the ball for too long. Like they're going to be coming at you. He does step up in the pocket. He's getting better at that, but there at different times he holds on to the ball for too long, and he's trying to give it a last second opportunity to make a play, and the line is collapsing. This line is no longer the best line. I hope nobody else says that. This is they haven't had a consistent line all year.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think Kansas City might have the best line now, off the top of my head.
I'll give Ravens some love now. Give that offense, get that offensive line some love. They're pretty good too.
Yeah.
And then they had Edwards-Helaire, which I like that kid. I like that kid. Let's see if
I saw Brian Hoyer make that throw too.
Yeah.
But what's unique about this game right here? When I previewed this game, I said New England's going to do everything they can to keep Kansas City on the sideline. Didn't they get the second half kickoff, New England? Look what time's on the clock.
I think they did.
If they did, that's insane.
Yeah.
Look at the time on the clock. He hasn't been on the field in the second half.
That can't be real.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's Bill Belichick.
6 rushes, 6 passes. Yeah, 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's Bill Belichick for you. He's gonna stick to a formula to beat you, no matter who's there. He's gonna find a way to maximize those guys' talent, but he knows that he cannot get into a shootout with Pat Mahomes. He's got to keep him on the sideline.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what they're doing.
And that's one of the reasons I told you I don't get salty on guys, but the two that was Tom Brady and Matt Ryan, because I felt like they're products of the coaches. Like one, obviously Bill Belichick, and the two, you got Matt Ryan, who at the time had Kyle Shanahan, who offensively, we see him come, come to the 49ers and tear it up there too.
Somebody said can't coach in the Super Bowl.
Jay Ray of the No Phony Podcast Network. Make sure to check out, follow him. He said, "Why am I always rooting for Nick Foles?" I don't know.
You're glutton for punishment. That might be why.
He's in the Dom stuff with the women too.
All right, man. Yeah. A great conversation tonight. You guys, anything you want to add? What you guys got coming up on your shows this week?
For what happened in Game 4. That's all that matters.
Yes. Tomorrow, post game show. We'll be right here. Post game show.
Man, I go to sleep. Y'all on too late. I'm old. That's just too late.
I'll be on. Whoever else comes on, you know, we keep this thing going. But Easy, what you got coming up this week?
For my UFC fans, hopefully, we haven't had a time confirmed yet, but Leon Edwards, top ranked welterweight in the division, he may be coming on the show soon. So people have been waiting to hear from him lately too. So yeah,
nice.
And then other than that, man, just kind of stay tuned with the finals. I gotta find some more football partners, man. It's been a grind, bro. These MMA fans been like not draining me, but that's where my focus kind of been because that's my main audience. But I love football, I love basketball, so I've been trying to keep it everywhere. But yeah, so Leon Edwards coming up, and then we gotta do this DraftKings thing. We gotta get in a group chat or something.
Let me know. I'm always down for that. Always down for DraftKings.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and set it up. We'll be on. I know you're on Instagram. Will, you're on Instagram too, so you can put us in a.
Okay. All right. I'll find you. Yeah. So yeah. Just throw Will in a group chat with us then.
Okay. Cool.
Right. Cool.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me.
All right. Yes, you guys have a good night.
Same here.
Always,
you guys have a great one.
All right, man. Have a good one.
For sure.
Peace. All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. This always seems to happen at some point in time. The background just leaves. But thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. BS3 Radio Live Reaction Monday. We do this every Monday. We may talk about the week's games. We may talk about NBA. We may talk about whatever topic it is. But thank you everyone for tuning in on Facebook. Thank you for those tuning in on YouTube. Much love to each and every one of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will be back tomorrow with the post-game show of Game 4. So you guys have a good one. God bless. God is love. Peace.